In the grim darkness of the far future, the Emperor of Mankind created his greatest warriors, the Primarchs. These 20 superhuman sons were made from his own DNA, built to be far stronger, faster, smarter, and tougher than any human. Each stood taller than a man, led with unmatched charisma, and commanded the mighty Space Marine legions. Every Primarch had a unique purpose, crafted to guide humanity's armies in great crusades to reclaim the galaxy. In this video, we'll discuss all the Primarchs in the Warhammer 40K universe and what happened to them. Without any further ado, let's dive into it. First up, we have Lionel Johnson, also known as the Lion and the First. He's the Primarch of the Dark Angels. Like his brothers, he was scattered across the galaxy as a child and landed on Caliban, a beautiful but corrupted world, tainted by the warp due to its closeness to the Eye of Terror. On Caliban, the Lion grew into a master of war, known for unmatched strategic brilliance and martial skill rivaled only by Horus himself, yet his secretive and reserved nature often made his brother Primarchs wary of him. Even the servants of Chaos took note, calling him the Duelist. After the Horus Heresy, the Lion returned to Caliban, only to find his legion split by betrayal. In the battle that followed, the planet was destroyed, and he vanished without a trace. For 10,000 years he was thought lost, hidden deep within the rock in a mysterious sleep. But after the Arcs of the Omen campaign, the Lion is finally returned to the Imperium, ready to take up arms once more in its darkest hour. I guess we all know that we don't have any information regarding the 2nd and 11th Primarch, so we'll leave them empty. Next up, we have Fulgrim the Phoenician, the Illuminator, and the Prefector of Chemos. He is the Primarch of the Emperor's children. Like his brothers, he was created by the Emperor in the earliest days of the Imperium, shortly after the Age of Strife. But before they could be united, the gods of chaos scattered the Primarchs across the galaxy, and Fulgrim was cast onto the world of Chemos. From the start, he sought to emulate the Emperor, striving for absolute perfection in all things. But this obsession slowly turned into pride, and that pride became his downfall. In time, Fulgrim fell completely to the temptations of the chaos god Slaanesh, becoming one of its most devoted champions. The 4th Primarch is Perturabo. He is the Primarch of the Iron Warriors, one of the original 20 Space Marine legions. He and his legion were masters of technology and siege warfare, using cold logic to crush their enemies. But they lacked the strong faith that the Imperium valued, and Perturabo began to feel ignored and given only the hardest, least rewarding battles. Over time, this bitterness pushed him to side with Horus during the Horus Heresy, where he used his skills to devastating effect against the Emperor's forces. After the war, the Chaos Gods rewarded him with demonhood. Now a demon prince, Perturabo rules the demon world of Medrengard inside the Eye of Terror, leading the Iron Warriors in endless war. Next up, we have Jaghatai Khan. Known as the Great Khan or the Warhawk, was the Primarch of the White Scars Space Marine Legion. Fierce and often keeping to himself, he was sometimes dismissed as a barbarian, but in truth, he was a highly cultured and thoughtful leader. Most records about him come from the White Scars themselves. So many details of his life remain uncertain. The servants of Chaos called him the Warrior. During the Horus Heresy, he remained loyal to the Emperor, leading lightning-fast strikes that crippled traitor forces. After the war, while pursuing Dark Eldar raiders, he vanished into the Webway. His fate remains unknown, though many believe he still fights the Xenos within, waiting for the right time to return. The 6th Primarch is none other than Leman Russ, also known as the Wolf King, the Great Wolf, or the Lord of Winter and War. He is the Primarch of the Space Wolves chapter of the Space Marines. Alongside Angron and Vulkan, he was considered one of the mightiest warriors among the Primarchs. Known for his fierce, wild nature, Russ saw himself as the Emperor's most loyal son and executioner, carrying out the Master of Mankind's punishments without question. The servants of Chaos called him the Brawler. After the Horus Heresy, he led the Space Wolves for 2 more centuries before mysteriously disappearing during a great feast. Before he left, Russ promised to return for the Wolf Time, a final battle at the end of days. Since then, he's never been seen, but the Space Wolves believe he still lives, waiting for the Imperium's darkest hour. I guess we all know who Rogal Dorn is, right? Rogal Dorn, known as the Praetorian of Terra, was the Primarch of the Imperial Fists. Created by the Emperor and scattered across the galaxy by the Chaos Gods, he grew into a master of fortifications and an unshakable defender of the Imperium. During the Horus Heresy, he led a loyalist war effort and commanded the defense of Terra in the siege of the Imperial Palace. After the war, he became the first Lord Commander of the Imperium before giving the role to Roboute Guilliman. The servants of Chaos called him the Soldier. Dorn vanished during a boarding attack on a Chaos ship, and only his hand was ever found. The Imperial Fists believe he'll return one day. The 8th Primarch is Konrad Curze. Not gonna lie, he's one of my personal favorites. Konrad Curze is also known as the Night Haunter. Raised on the crime-ridden world of Nostromo and haunted by visions of death, he became one of the most brutal and unstable of his brothers. A figure of terror and darkness, the servants of Chaos called him the Killer. During the Horus Heresy, he betrayed the Emperor and sided with War Master Horus. After the war, Curze's mind continued to unravel. On his throne world of Sagualza, he allowed the Imperial assassin Mshen to kill him, fulfilling the death he had foreseen long before. Next up, we have Sanguinius. The great angel Sanguinius was the Primarch of the Blood Angels. One of the most beloved and noble figures of the Imperium, he was known for his charisma, humility, and unwavering loyalty to the Emperor. During the Horus Heresy, he fought to the very end, defending Terra in its darkest hour. In the final battle aboard Horus's flagship, Sanguinius faced the War Master himself. Though he was slain, his sacrifice gave the Emperor the chance to defeat Horus and end the heresy. Even in the 41st millennium, Sanguinius is revered as a symbol of courage and selfless heroism. Ferrus Manus is the 10th Primarch on this list. His name literally means Hand of Iron, and he's the Primarch of the Iron Hands Legion and was also called the Gorgon. Raised on the harsh world of Medusa, his hands became encased in a living metallic substance, a mark of his iron will and disdain for weakness. A master of technology and a relentless warrior, Ferrus fought for the Emperor during the Horus Heresy. In a tragic duel with his former friend Fulgrim, Ferrus was slain, which is considered one of the first great losses of the war. Since we don't know anything about the 11th Primarch, we'll just skip him. Next up, we have Angron the Red Angel. He was the Primarch of the World Eaters and was raised on the brutal world of Nuceria. He fought as a gladiator slave and was fitted with the Butcher's Nails, which are implants that drove him into constant rage. The only Primarch taken into the Emperor's service against his will, Angron's fury and unmatched strength made him one of the most fearsome warriors alive. During the Horus Heresy, he turned to Chaos and was elevated to Demon Prince of Khorne, becoming an eternal embodiment of bloodlust and war. Next up, we have Roboute Guilliman, also known as the Avenging Sun and Master of Ultramar. He was a brilliant warlord and empire builder. Before meeting the Emperor, he had already created a thriving realm in Ultramar. He led the largest Space Marine Legion and saw himself as both a warrior and a builder of civilizations. After the Horus Heresy, he became Lord Commander of the Imperium and wrote the Codex Astartes, which shaped the modern Imperial military. Wounded for thousands of years, he was restored after the 13th Black Crusade and now serves as the Emperor's regent, guiding the Imperium through its darkest age. The 14th Primarch is Mortarion, also called the Death Lord and the Pale King. He was raised on the toxic world of Barbarous, where he learned endurance and hatred for oppression. When the Emperor arrived, he was given command of the Death Guard Legion. During the Horus Heresy, he betrayed the Imperium and joined the forces of Chaos. He now serves as a demon prince of Nurgle, spreading disease and despair across the galaxy. The list continues with Magnus the Red, also known as the Crimson King and the Red Cyclops, who was the Primarch of the Thousand Suns. Gifted with immense psychic power, he sought to master the warp and use its knowledge to aid the Imperium. His obsession with sorcery put him at odds with the Emperor and his brothers. Trying to warn the Emperor about Horus, Magnus used forbidden warp powers that instead led to disaster. Cast out and betrayed, he turned to the Chaos God Tzeentch and fought for Horus during the Horus Heresy. Surviving the war, he was made a demon prince and now rules from the planet of the sorcerers, plotting the Imperium's downfall. Horus Lupercal is the next entry on this list. Horus Lupercal was the first Primarch discovered by the Emperor and quickly became his most trusted and beloved son. Placed in command of the Luna Wolves, he fought alongside the Emperor during the Great Crusade, earning the respect of his brothers and rising to the rank of War Master, second only to the Emperor in power and influence. However, his pride and ambition left him vulnerable to the whispers of chaos. Corrupted by their promises, Horus betrayed the Imperium and led the galaxy-spanning civil war known as the Horus Heresy, seeking to overthrow the Emperor himself. Horus was ultimately slain by the Emperor during the Siege of Terra, his body and soul completely destroyed to prevent any chance of resurrection. Next up, we have Lorgar Aurelion, also called the Urizen, was the Primarch of the Word-Bearers. Deeply religious and searching for purpose beyond war, he turned to the powers of chaos after the destruction of his city, Monarchia. Secretly serving them for years, he helped set in motion the Horus Heresy. About his fate, Lorgar became the demon prince of chaos and remains a devoted servant of the dark gods. Vulkan is the next Primarch to feature this list. He was the Primarch of the Salamanders, famed for his kindness toward ordinary people and his unmatched skill as a craftsman. He possessed the rare gift of being a perpetual, able to recover from any wound or even total destruction, though he did not realize this until the Horus Heresy. During the Great Crusade, he gained a reputation as both a fearsome warrior and a protector of humanity. Vulkan disappeared after the heresy, and many believe he still walks the galaxy, watching over mankind in secret. For the last two Primarchs, we have Corvus Corax and Alpharius Omegon. Corvus Corax was the Primarch of the Raven Guard, a master of stealth, guerrilla tactics, and sudden strikes. Raised as a revolutionary on the prison moon of Lycius, he fought to free his oppressed workers before joining the Great Crusade. Loyal to the Emperor during the Horus Heresy, his legion suffered devastating losses in the Drop Site Massacre. After the war, Corax vanished into the Eye of Terror, vowing to hunt the enemies of mankind until they were no more. As for Alpharius, which is actually the shared name of twin Primarchs, Alpharius and Omegon, who claim to be one soul in two bodies. Masters of secrecy and deception, they led the Alpha Legion with layers of lies and misdirection so deep that even their own origins remain uncertain. Their true role in the galaxy's fate is still shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts and impersonations making it impossible to separate fact from fiction. Fate, said to have been slain during the heresy, but with Alpha Legion, nothing is ever certain. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments. See ya!